Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I cannot believe it. It is the 5th year anniversary of Mostly Walking. Woo! We did it! We
That's
made
so
it!
crazy.
We made it longer than most relationships
God.
people have in real life. We three keep playing point-and-click adventure games again and again and again. We don't stop. And so what we're going to do today is we're just going to talk about the last 5 years, talk about favorite games, favorite moments, favorite learnings, all that sort of good stuff. And also, this is completely unrelated to the fact that my Windows 10 updated overnight and completely corrupted the entire audio setup I typically use to play games on this show. So, I want to just kick it off by saying, okay, Sean Bloom, how in the hell has your summer been? Because I don't think I've seen you since, like, May?
It's been fucking crazy. I honestly don't know how long it's been. It feels like forever. It feels like most of the 5 years have been this summer, and I've been gone. I'm doing great. Everything's good. Everything's been real busy. I bought a house. I renovated my kitchen. I spent a week in India. I taught a class. Teaching a class was like the least interesting thing I did. Yeah, I mean, it's just been nuts. It's just been one thing after another, but it's all good stuff. I think the last time that I talked with you, both of you, I had found the house and maybe purchased the house.
Yes.
But we have now moved into the house.
Wow.
And we utterly destroyed it, and then rebuilt it, and now it's pretty great.
Wait, what does utterly destroyed mean?
Utterly destroyed is an enormous exaggeration. We so the layout, it's this open plan of, there's like a kitchen, and then adjacent to the kitchen is a dining room, and sort of to the side of both of them is a living room, and there's no walls in between any of that.
Yeah.
But the kitchen is like pretty small, and the dining room shares a wall with the kitchen. So we basically added cabinets. We refaced all of the cabinets in the kitchen.
Holy shit.
We added cabinets into the dining room, sort of extending along the rest of the wall. And then we added an island to the kitchen so that we could get more counter space, and it like flows into the living room in a really nice way. So we came up with this elaborate plan for doing all of this stuff. We took all of the doors off of all of the cabinets in the kitchen and stuff like that. And then thank fucking God my parents drove down from Colorado, and my dad brought a table saw, because it turns out
I've never heard gratitude for table saws expressed before. This might actually be the first time.
I mean, listen, this is enough to make up for all of the rest of the lack. Like, I am so grateful for that table saw, because turns out we don't know how to design a kitchen, and screwed a lot of things up that we had to like cut down to size.
Dude, it is actually incredible to me, the amount of work that just goes into getting all the stuff that we have that you don't think about. Like, I found this YouTube channel called This Old Tony, where he just machines things. He just is like, I'm gonna make an espresso pot, and it's a 30-minute video, and he's explaining every step, and he has all this stuff, and I'm just like,
yes.
And they print these off by, like, for pennies.
Right, totally.
Because someone just figured out how to do it. It's amazing. And that's going to be you with houses eventually.
I'm going to mass produce kitchen extensions.
Yeah.
It's going to be my thing. It's going to be really good.
They say don't get good at something you don't like doing. So also don't do something you're good at if you're not getting paid or something. It's like,
yeah. And by the way, Lee, is there any way you can get way the hell closer to your microphone?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want that microphone just basically just reaching up to kiss you like a dog. Just like, Lee.
I'm shorter now. Here. Hi.
All right, Lee.
Hi.
Lee, how the hell are you, man? What's going down in Lee Town?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I'm a little took a showery, took a shower because I went out and I went outside. It was the first time I went outside in the last couple days because it's been a billion degrees.
It has been millions and millions of degrees, an obscene amount of degrees.
so many degrees, and it got up to like 84 or something, which in San Francisco terms is like the surface of the sun. And yeah, but I got outside. I walked around. By the time I got back home, I was like a sun zombie. You know, if
you're one of those things where it's just baked the focus right out of you.
Yeah.
Baked the focus. Oh yeah. I thought you were talking about like a cinema term. I thought you were talking about
no.
Like,
I'm talking about Lee became golden brown and could not focus.
Yes. Oh yeah. I thought you meant like let's just bake the focus on this one and let's rack the dollies. And,
yeah, we rack dollies all day.
Well, you know what?
Racking
Watch
dollies.
this. Since it is my job to rack up the topics for today's show for a 5-year anniversary, I want to just kick it off by noting that our very first game that we played through was King's Quest VI.
Yeah,
which has almost 500,000 views on the first episode.
So good.
That was
God, I love that game too.
Oh, that game! It's still one of the greatest games. We've had the opportunity to play through a substantial amount of the King's Quest game. We've done 1, 5. Sean Bloom and I did 7 together.
Off camera.
We haven't done 2, 3, and 4.
Or 8, I will point out. Or number 8.
Yeah.
Jesus, there's so many.
We've also played the King's Quest remake. We've done most of the LucasArts adventure games. We've done Full Throttle, Day of the Tentacle. Right. We're in the middle of Sam & Max Hit the Road, Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis. We revisited Myst. We went through, I think, a dark age where we played through some really horrible games like Eric the Unready and that Willy Beamish.
Willy Beamish!
I think that we've also had the delight of playing a lot of the new Wajidai games, like Gemini Rue and the Unavowed.
Yeah. And, Unavowed is so good.
There's other ones that we haven't even had the time to bring up. I mean, are there any favorite games for
Nancy
you?
Drew.
Oh my God, the Nancy Drew games! How could we have forgotten? Are those your favorite games that we've played on here?
I have so much nostalgia for the King's Quest stuff, like especially 6. I played 6 so many times as a child. I feel like that was such a good foot to start on. But I do like I gotta place in my heart for that Nancy Drew stuff.
You know, I really feel like the Nancy Drew games, it does something that I feel like you're not allowed to do in design, traditionally speaking. Because, like, okay, like, I don't know about you, but I sort of had this feeling pounded into me at IMD and also just, like, in all the literature, where you don't want a lot of mechanics, you want deep mechanics. And what's everyone's favorite example? The portal gun. Ooh, it's so good. You put a hole, you put a hole, and then gameplay happens, and it's infinite gameplay. You know, it's really simple. And from you wondering what I'm talking about, there's numerous articles and even like perspectives of people that when they were a novice designer and someone said, we need you to make this little puzzle area, this is your task, you need to make a puzzle in Ratchet and Clank or some other thing. And what does the newbie do? The newbie comes up with 50 dead basic mechanics because it's hard to think of a deep mechanics, to think of 50 simple ones. Right, so it's just this like make it deep. How does it become multi-dimensional? How does it have interesting different properties? How do you make it like the portal gun? Mm-hmm. And then I feel like Nancy Drew comes along and is like, well, there's a Sudoku over here. There's a memogram over here. Here is an addition puzzle, and also, boo! There's a jump scare. And I'm like, fuck, right? Like it. And
it's true. It's true.
And like, there's also a lot of modern games that, or I should say, successful games in the last many years that have kind of done that. Even something like Neopets, where there's like an overworld layered on top of a bunch of mini games. I find that sort of fascinating that there's not actually more things like that, because as it turns out, it works.
Yeah, mini games. God, it was just so. There's like a Gestalt mini game situation though, right? Where it's like, you get a feel for like. Other than the jump scare was probably the weirdest part of Nancy Drew, because otherwise it's so good. Mini games and story, but it's like passive. It's like you get to call the shots as far as like the pacing and stuff.
Yeah.
But when I started IMD load those many years ago, I had not played video games for a couple of years, and I was shocked, I say, when I learned that like mini games were a thing again. Because like when I was growing up, like mini games were like
because open world, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, because we would just be like, mini games. All right, what are we playing? Like, we're getting like 3 games on one like Nintendo cassette. Like, what is this? Is this Dizzy's Adventure Island? Okay, so my friend Tony had one that was Dizzy's. It wasn't the full Dizzy game. It was a smaller Dizzy the Eggman game, which if you're British, you'll know and love.
I'm not. I'm neither of those things.
It's an adventure game, technically. Okay, there was that, and then there was Super Robin Hood, and there was a third one that no one can remember because it was really bad.
Nice.
But those were the ones, and there was a physical switch on the Nintendo cartridge that you had to flip
in order to switch between them.
Those.
Oh my god, I don't remember those. That's wild.
Yeah, those bootleg Nintendo games that were just like, listen, we can't really figure out how to do it. Just like literally use a physical thumb to just put a different slot into a different place. It's so good.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, and I mean, those games just like, I feel like there's an interesting little promise that comes with the Nancy Drew games that because you step into it and you see that it's a Sudoku, or you see that it's a puzzle that's reminiscent of those ones that you would see in booklets in school, you know, like the Scholastic magazines or whatever. And so I feel like it really reassures you that you can solve this, which is very different from something like Return to Zork, which is, I don't know even what you want me to do.
Right.
Yeah, or like how I'm supposed to feel about this. It's like kind of a Douglas. It's like with Return to Zork, I feel like it starts off as kind of like, oh, I know Hitchhiker's Guide. I know like kind of a Douglas Adams vibe. Like I get it. I'm here, and then it's like the fake load, or like the fake false load that was engendered under the 5th, and you're just like, wait, why did my Hitchhiker's Guide turn into a Dwarf Fortress halfway through? Like, what is that? Like, what genre is this? What am I? How am I supposed to be physically reading the things I'm reading here?
Right.
Like, yeah, it's kind of awesome. I
was talking with a student about their thesis project just last week, and I brought up Return to Zork and like its weird expression-based dialogue system.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, that's right. I mean, normally you just have the you can only say yes dialogue system provided by Bethesda, or the thumbs up and thumbs down dialogue system provided by BioWare games.
Yeah,
wow,
that was a weird. That was
it's
a
also
ride.
weird that so many people have like sort of repressed memories of Return to Zork. You know, it's like you'd play it and you're like, wait a minute, this looks familiar. Oh my god, wait, I played this as a kid.
Yeah.
It's like the Want Some Rye guy.
You want some rye? Of course you do. Or, like, I cannot believe that that's where that's from, you know? Because, like, I remember, like, literally 7 years ago or something, I saw a rye whiskey, and I was like, do I want some rye? Yeah, of course I do. And like, I thought it in that way, right? Like, yeah, and I had some, and I was like, okay, that was good. And at no point did it occur to me that my brain was not my own.
That's funny.
No, but that's wow. That's actually an incredible quote there. At no point did it occur to me that my brain is not my own. That's
yeah. Dude. No, like this brain is not my brain. I feel like 10% of my brain is begging the other 90% to do something original and to like come up with a thought. And the other 90% is like repeating stupid memes. It's quotes from TV shows that I watched as a kid. You know, it's.
Yeah.
It's all nonsense.
Oh,
it's like, you know, I mean, even the way that I get mad if I'm like taking a shower and I've had a bad day and imagine someone who made me angry and I'm owning them in my head. I'm basically just using some quotes from some movies. There's some scenes that I want to be the badass stoic protagonist and I want them to be the cuckful, shameful man who just, you know, is, oh, you're right. Oh, I've been summarily owned because this episode has to end in 42 minutes. Like,
yeah,
it's really embarrassing.
Summarily owned. I bow to your ownage. Your ownage.
That's awesome.
Well, Lee, I want to ask what are some if you had to pick some favorite games we've played here.
Favorite games. Okay. I had a good time with when we spent 10 years playing Grim Fandango. That was cool. Remember that? We were like, oh, I bet we're going to beat the game tonight. And it was like book 1 of 12. And we're like, shit.
Yeah, no, I remember that. I'm like looking at the uploads, I was like part 17 of Grim Fandango. Man, I really hope people can endure this. Oh my god.
Oh god, that's a story. That's a story that spans 10 years, and I don't think is supposed to be played in real time.
Yeah, that's right. We can think of we could do some fan service here and think of our favorite, mostly walking spin-off memes from the games.
Yeah, memes and highlights. I mean, there have been some good highlights.
We could do some meme reenactment here. Like I could do here. I'll try.
Well, I mean, like. Okay, so I mean, like, what even are the memes?
Like this one. Old lamps for new.
Oh yeah,
old lamps for new. That's a good one.
I think the only one that I personally like have just embedded in my mind is "Want some rack?" Course you do. Like that's there's that one.
I have one. I have a good one.
I took a mint.
Yeah, I took a mint. Like
I remember I took a mint. That was a good one.
Yeah, and of course the Return to Zork. Yes, that was
you got it. That was so accurate.
Yo, so. Yeah, use Boston with down.
Use Boston with down.
Boston's just there to keep people safe.
You've done it, Boston Low. You've solved the problem.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
the thing that was really good. And the turtle.
Turtle
puddles. Yeah, no, I think we're doing it. We didn't see that there was like a viewable skeleton a foot away from it. We're just intuiting the way that the musculature would have worked for this thing.
If I was evolution, how would I make a turtle?
Yeah,
upside down backwards.
I think being natural selection's pretty fun. Yeah.
Did you know that like the day after that, like I made Daniel Ponce watch the entire Turtle segment, like at work, and it was like I was just like, hold on, it's just a little longer, and then like I didn't realize that it's legitimately like 35 minutes.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's so good. And you know, I want to briefly interrupt because I have to give a thanks to Damon, who's in chat, Filthy Rake, who not only gifted up to 100 subs, but is also at the 100-month anniversary.
Wow!
Yeah, 100-month sub-anniversary.
What?
One of a single-digit number of 100-month anniversary subbers.
That is impressive.
Crazy.
Yeah, Jesus. God, this thing has been going forever, because that is 8 years and 4 months. Yes.
Jeez.
And thinking about that, thinking about the 5-year anniversary of this makes me think about the games that we played way back in the day. The Sims 3 and
you talking about
my
metadating.
The metadating games.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't Felicia Day like own that? Are we allowed to say the word metadating?
Probably.
Yeah, is that copyrighted? Yeah, what was the bird game, like the Katua Shouju?
Oh yeah, Katua Shouju was the differently abled.
Yes.
That's right. Hatoful boyfriend.
Hatoful. That's right.
Hatoful boyfriend. Oh my god.
Wow. If I knew, I wish I could play that game again, knowing what I know now. I could play that game again. I guess I don't.
You literally could. Yeah.
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 Also, sorry, my hair is getting in my I'm a high winds actor here tonight. Like, look at this. I'm just. Hold on.
Yeah. No, you are. You are absolutely ready to explain to the peasantry what it means to be gallant.
Gallant. Well, first of all, we call it gallant.
Gallant.
Yeah, let me just mold my fucking hair. Hold on.
Oh yes, please.
It's like Play-Doh. I'm gonna pull this shit back.
Yeah, and when we started the show, Lee, you had glasses and like a little beard and short hair.
Well, we've all transformed. We've like, except for I think you, Sean.
No, I doubled in size.
No, I really feel like there's some sort of continuous matter transference between us, right? Like my hair is receding and balling, Lee's hair is like growing out.
Yes.
The weight is fluctuating, and growing, and expanding between us, right? Like, but the three of us together are one constant. I think that's the important thing.
No,
I think that is the important thing.
Play the shit out of adventure games. Hey, do you remember? Go back upstairs.
Back
Back upstairs.
Yeah, that's right.
Sir Grey Wolf, who sounded like a
You guys want to see Sir Grey Wolf?
A creepy basement-dwelling masturbator, just like, I am here
Sir Grey Wolf.
to take the kingdom. I'm like, God, you take a shower after you talk. Ugh.
The actual Sir Grey Wolf. I named this computer after that character.
Oh my God, yes! Oh.
Amazing.
Jesus, that thing's so heavy. And it's so slow. That computer is so old. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh, I keep forgetting. Okay, there's been so many games where there is some error noise where we can't do the thing we want to do and we hear the same thing. I don't want to mess up my blade.
I don't want to mess up my blade.
I don't want to mess up my blade.
Well, I also got to say, and it seems like you guys are keeping the streak alive, but we have a strong history of just not going into all the rooms.
Oh yeah,
it's so true.
I mean, I think there's a subset of that which is particularly sort of, God, what would you call it?
Like
Caustic?
double wide.
Well, like I'm thinking like distilled to its core essence is in LucasArts games, not going all the way left or right.
Right. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. Like literally, this just happened. Lee and I in Sam Max Hit the Road. So, Sean, did you play that game as a kid?
No.
Okay. So, you're Sam and Max freelance police, which is already the funniest name ever. And you start out in an office, and you're sort of given a task to do.
So we've done 2 episodes of this, right?
Oh, you were in the first one.
I was here for the
That's
first
right.
one.
Good God.
Yeah.
Okay, do you remember the
Then
Office?
we took a 12-month
I do
break
remember
after
The
that.
Office.
Did you know that if you go to the right, there's just more Office?
I did after I saw the GIF of you guys figuring that out.
GIF? So you caught up. So you're watching our GIFs?
I did.
You're watching GIFs of me? Like you're getting your news. You're getting your news from like memes made of us. That's weird.
God.
Yeah, that's mostly right.
I feel so uncomfortable with that.
I know.
Like,
Well, can I okay, so I came prepared tonight with a little bit, and I know that like we don't have we usually when we have a little bit of intro time, there's more of a time to line up a bit, but I have something for you, Sean. This can be a little 5-year anniversary gift for everybody out there.
okay.
I've started playing Dungeons and Dragons. Had to invent some names for characters. So I wanted to just give you some free character names for NPCs. But like, Sean Plott, would you mind reading them?
They're in the
chat.
Yeah.
Not the chat. They're in the text, the little special.
Yeah.
They're in the Discord.
Yeah. Let me open it because I have to open it up on my phone because my Discord is currently in use.
Oh yeah.
As a broadcasting software. So let's go ahead and go navigate to this. Okay, so these are free Dungeons and Dragons character names.
Yes.
Okay. The first one is Obliquous Bevel. We have Deuce Bovander. Marsupius Spinali. There is Hemanda McCophany.
McCophany, that's a very Lee Grainer.
Yeah. Bob Lorenus. Mince Borealis. Leblendus Melange. Leblendus. Oh my God. Oh God. And then Morris Strahd Bewildebeest. Okay, how did you get these?
I made them up. I just back to the wall. That's what comes out, and I thought
this is one of
something I can give back.
This is one of Lee's sort of like I don't want to characterize it as like a strength, because that suggests that you're not good at other things. But it's like
I thought you were going a different direction with that.
It's like a superpower. No, it's like everybody gets like some magic tricks.
This is your gift. Like you're one of the gifted in urban fantasy. Yeah.
As has always been. If I ever need an amazing character name, I go to Lee.
Thank you. You can just text me anytime.
I mean, you're one of my favorite people. That
Thank you.
Yeah, you know what I'm supposed to talk about. You're one of my favorite people. Period. Any sentence. One of the reasons is you just invent words for no reason multiple times every time I interact with you.
Yeah, and they get stuck sometimes. Okay, sometimes in this particular episode, it feels like we're about to go into like a best of. Kind of a like, it's like a clip show. It's like,
yeah.
And that reminds me of that one time when we did the following. But I've had some things in my head that I can't get out of my head.
Yeah.
Like every day, I would say, at least once a week. Every week of my life, my brain goes, "I like King Tut and I cannot lie." Like literally every week, and I've tried to like finish that lyric. I was like, well, maybe if I can just write a whole parody song, it will stop haunting me. But it's not. There's no song there.
No.
So it's stuck forever. There's also there comes a time in every young man's wife. That's another one. Those are like raw cruft that were supposed to be jokes. And ended up
I mean, like, see, this is what I mean by like you're not in charge of your own brain. Your brain's just like, here's this again, and you're like, I don't want that. It's like, here's this again, I don't want that. Here's this again, and that's gonna happen until you die. I want that to be absolutely abundantly clear. Like, that's just. It's gonna be the year 2040, and we're all gonna share a consciousness, and you're still gonna be going, I like King Tut, and I cannot lie.
It's just
you're still gonna be doing that, man.
The minute that someone else plugs into my consciousness, they're gonna be like, what's this noise I hear?
What is this?
I know, right? They're like, oh god. Yeah, it's just memes.
That's rough. I wanna return back to these old point-click adventure games that we do play, and the excellence around them. What is the most stuck in a puzzle that you guys remember being? The stuckest, puzzlest moment that ever did occur.
I think Ultra Sudoku doesn't count because it was never truly stuck.
It was a very grindy process.
But it was awesome because Sean B and I just like riffed for like it was like, let's fill time for like an hour.
That was fun.
Let Day9 do Sudoku.
Yeah.
Oh man, most stuck, because we have been pretty fucking stuck.
God, did we go we must have gone a whole episode before without making any progress, right? Like I'm getting memories of God, I don't even remember what game it was, but like Dinosaur Exhibit game.
Oh, Laura Bow 2 and the Dagger of Amun-Ra.
Oh yeah,
and you pick it up and place it in your purse.
Yeah.
And I actually remember that we were so stuck in there that Sean Bloom just opened up a walkthrough, and I remember as you read through it, it just didn't make sense.
Right, that's right. It was just nonsensical shit. Yeah.
Oh God, and that game was so violent. It was so gross. You just kept going around the corner and there'd just be someone with just like a bunch of daggers in their throat, and there would just be an unhappy face painted on their face.
It'd just be like 5 pterodactyls like through his arms, and a T-Rex somewhere else. 15 velociraptors.
Broken Age. Broken Age. We are pretty stuck in Broken Age.
Yeah, Broken Age. Like I remember that the first half we were like, Broken Age. All right,
the first half was great.
Yeah. Oh baby, and then I remember like it was hard to know what we were even trying to do. Oh my God. Okay. So there's stuck where there's just you have to do something. You don't know what it is, but you have to do something. But then there's like whatever Gabriel Knight was, which was I literally don't even know what the verbs in the game are. Like I don't even know, because I mean, if you're playing a King's Quest game, you're using an inventory item on a chair, then using that same inventory item on the tree, and then using a different inventory item on the tree, and then you're like, okay, I think we've cleared out all possible interactions here, and you just like process of elimination your way through. And in Gabriel Knight, your character is just walking around talking about legs, and it's just like, you remember just objectifying every woman, and we're just trying to figure out how to do anything at all. We couldn't figure it out.
Okay, so there's something there which is okay. By today, all these why can't I hold up these SJWs? But today, you look at that game and it's very sleazy, and but like originally it was just pixel people sort of, and it also didn't have voiceover, so I think that made it a little less creepy. But I'm not sure. I think that you would be able to play it. You'd look back and be like, "Oh, this is old timey. This is not acceptable behavior today." But I think the fact that it was a remake, where it's like we're going to have a screenplay here that doesn't it's past its okay moment here. That this peach is moldy, and we're going to increase the DPI of this peach by to maximum 4K.
Yeah, no. What must that have been like to be that voice actor?
Just be like this. Be like,
oh my God, and Charlie
You
Mops.
want me to read what?
Yeah, dude. You want me to read what? I'll do it. I love saying legs. Yeah. Charlie Mop says, remember in Indiana Jones when you solved a puzzle by calling Sophia fat? Oh yeah, that was really good, man.
That was good.
It's like, Sophia,
that was good.
You're obese. Dun 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun.
I'm like, yeah. I also want to just call out all those bird nests that we've destroyed over the years.
Oh my God, you're right.
Oh, yeah, we do have a history of that.
Substantial amount of bird nests. I mean, I feel like that's an homage to the, maybe not an homage, but just like a busted programming. They just kind of kept doing it, like there's so many bird nests, and there was a bird nest in the very first Zork. Like, one of the very first things you do is you see a tree and you climb the nest, and there's an egg in there. And then in King's Quest 1, there was the tree with the egg in there. And then all of them just have trees with eggs in there. I just don't fucking get it, man.
There's also a lot of, like, bird abduction, right? Like, there's a lot of birds carrying us away and dropping us in giant
That's true.
Oh
no, there's a good deal of
you're
that.
Absolutely right. Yeah, there's tons of just manipulation and exploitation of the bird peoples.
Is there a secret bird lobby that's sort of behind
Big Bird?
Big Bird, exactly. Yeah. Hey.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a Big Bird, I guarantee it.
What was the game with Christopher Lloyd?
That was Toonstruck, I think.
Toonstruck.
It's Toonstruck.
That's right.
Oh, you know what else was? You know what else? The other game that we played with Christopher Lloyd is King's Quest remastered, right? Wasn't he like?
Yeah. He was the narrator.
He was like, King Graham.
Oh.
Yes. I'm King Graham, and I'm just very anxious to be narrating my own actions.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, Toonstruck was pretty good. That one had.
Well, I mean, I just remember Toonstruck being so good in the first couple of episodes, and then
God, that's every game, right?
I don't remember if we got like super stuck or just turned absurd, or
I thought we did a lot of fun stuff, and then it was like, oh, here's another area that's less fun. It was like the castle. Wasn't the castle just less fun, and it was like a lot of it?
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. I feel like it. I don't remember specifically, but I feel like it fell into the trap that a lot of adventure games fall into, where you are just acquiring items, and eventually you have too many items, and that creates too many possible solutions, and you can't figure anything out.
Yeah. That's why adventure games are dead games.
Dude,
only.
I'm going to ask a question. I'm going to give an answer, which is a little bit cheating because I think that I think it's hard to debate this. Well, okay, I think that there are 2 truly amazing adventure games that we've played.
Okay.
One of them is the Unev Odd.
Okay, yeah.
I think was actually just good the whole time.
Legit good.
Yes.
And the other is Real Mist.
Yeah.
I really like that one.
It was a Real Mist Masterpiece Ultimate Edition, right? Ultimate. It's like there's like
it was a long one. It looked like they were trying to sell us some some
Snake
cleaner
oil.
for the car or something. You know?
It was a Capcom game. Yeah, that was cool, right? That was
and Return of the Obra Dinn.
Oh
was
yes,
exceptional, too.
Obra Dinn, totally.
Obra Dinn.
That was great.
Yeah,
That was great.
Unavowed. Yeah, adventure games aren't dead games. Unavowed's pretty good. Damn.
Unavowed is just spectacular, man. I also really liked the
They did it.
What was the name of the one where you try to take care of the dead dude? The something legacy. Blackwell Legacy. Blackwell Legacy. Is actually pretty good.
Yeah. I thought literally every How'd You Die game was just taking care of it's just taking dead people and folding them into an afterlife. It's like just pull your nose.
Yeah, that's right. It's just like, nope, you're dead. I'm dead. You're dead. Now grab the tie.
Yeah, exactly. It's It's I'm actually very proud of that pun. The Why'd You Die games.
This is the first time.
Oh really?
I'm hearing it
man.
That pun has actually slipped under my radar. I mean, that's
really. Am I the only one who thought we would all have been enjoying this?
Just declaring the publisher again and again and again to me.
No, it's
I'm like, they developed it. They did.
They're all Why'd You Die games because you're going around asking people why they died.
Oh my god! Holy shit! That absolutely was far too advanced for my comprehension.
Wow.
That is a sophisticated pun meta.
I thought we had bonded over this for weeks and weeks.
For weeks and weeks, yeah.
God,
that was
were
just
living a
that
lie.
was all in your head.
Yeah, incredible.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Obra Dinn was actually unreal good.
It was, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I feel like so the reason I liked those 3 games are for different reasons. First one is I feel like probably the biggest lesson I feel like I've learned from graphic adventure games that I just want all games to have is that sense of wonder and amazement. Because it's, if you are, there's something different in the texture of looking at a single screen that is composed and has all the elements laid out in a very particular way versus if you are just, playing some 3D over-the-shoulder camera game and you just are walking up into some lobby of a building, right? It's just a lobby, right? And anything that's going to be clear for you is just glowing bright yellow so you can see it. But in adventure games, you kind of feel you have to study it, and it kind of has this feeling to it. These are these 7 screens that you get to look at. And when you do something that unlocks screens 8, 9, 10, it's like that, whoa, and also just that feeling of, holy shit, we solved the puzzle, awesome. There's a lot of single-player games that I'll play that don't really do that. Most roguelikes don't do that. You're just getting loot, trying to grow in power, and just kind of gradually escalate in tension. There's a lot of narrative games, like even Last of Us, which was very, very well done, didn't have that same sense of exploratory, holy shit, I'm here now. It was always get to there.
Yes.
Get to here. Zombies in the way.
No, I think that there's a cool exploratory thing, and I want to specifically sort of highlight the thing that you're saying about graphic adventure games and these single screen exploration games. That's kind of, it's evolved into hidden object games. In a way that feels very different, but is about the composition of an image that contains a lot of information and is designed around you sort of trying to pick out interesting information.
What do we call it when we're taking the mouse and just rubbing it all over the screen trying to find
pixel hunting?
Scrubbing,
pixel
screen
hunting.
scrubbing,
So
pixel hunting.
The idea of screen scrubbing and pixel hunting as a no pun intended, a precursor to hidden object games is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
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 Horsewap says it's called exfoliation. Let's exfoliate the screen, and once we find something with a little texture, we can interact with that.
That's incredible. I feel like it will
Yeah.
from now on be called exfoliation.
But
That's
like,
good.
so if I come back to those 3 games of Myst and Unavowed and Obra Dinn, Unavowed I just felt like was a really killer story and a really refined, clean look at point-and-click adventure mechanics.
Yeah.
Like, here's a level, you beat it. Now do another mission. You beat it, and there was no carryover. It flushed your whole inventory out. It was structured.
Yeah.
It was like really smooth sailing. That was just like a very well-crafted experience. And I feel like sort of the same thing for Myst, but with a lot more of a sense of freedom. But like it was like saying, okay, you don't have an inventory. Here is a mechanism that you have to understand. And I also too thought that was like a really well structured game. It's like I think it was like the first 3D adventure game, so it still kept that feeling of screens, but
The original certainly did.
The original Myst had pre-rendered screens, so you had to
Right.
click through them. We played.
yeah.
Is this
We
true?
kind
Did
of
we play
played
the
a
one that you walked
combination. You
We
could
played the one
you
that
could switch
you-
it on and off, I think.
through? Right, and I think we did. Did we WASD that thing?
I
we
think
on
we
and
mixed
off
it
it.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was super happy with how because I did WASD my way through that game. I think before we played it on Mostly Walking, and I was happy. I was very happy with how it held up the experience, because I thought, is getting rid of point and click gonna be like, destructive in some way.
Right.
Then it was like, no, it turns out that not understanding the curvature of a hallway because when you click it goes to a weird other slide, like that's not actually important to my experience of the game. So
Right.
Yeah.
yeah.
There's an interesting commonality between those two, Sean, where like they're split up into these distinct
Yeah, they're
episodes.
chunked.
They're chunked, yeah. And there's each chunk is sort of independent of everything else.
Yeah, you get a detox. You get your inventory colonic between each one.
Yeah. Huh.
Oh yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, who needs friends when you have enemas?
Hey!
Buzzing.
Obra Dinn is kind of an outlier, I feel like.
Obra
It's a-
Dinn to me feels like actual innovation on the core ideas of the genre.
Yeah,
Right? It's like
exactly.
the first innovation in point and click, because I mean, like, all the other point and click games that we've played that are modern are smoothed down or more story focused. Something like Broken Age is very cleaned up and buttoned up and has a lot of art assets applied. But Obra Dinn is like, okay, wait, what do you really do
Right.
in graphic adventure games? Well, it's you're studying the environment. That's like the biggest thing. You're studying the environment and you're trying to think things through and form logical connections in like a super literal way, because because I know someone's going to be like, well, in League of Legends, you look at the environment, make logical conclusions. What I mean, like, literally, there's like action and other things, but I mean, there's just such a purity of like, look at the thing, think about the options that are at hand,
Yeah.
and that should unlock something more. And like, Obra Dinn just like distilled that, but did it in such a weird way. Like, it's, you look at it and you go, oh my god, I guess that is a point and click adventure game, huh? But like, going from a King's Quest style game to that is like such a logical leap. I mean, it was just amazing to play.
Yeah, I also like can't help but wonder, could you do a sequel to Obra Dinn? Could you do like DLC? Because wouldn't it end up just being like Obra Dinn DLC, more bodies? Like, it's like I just don't know that you could do like Obra Dinn 2. Like your character gets called back for one more mission because another boat of bodies. Like, I don't know.
Here's how I think you could do it. I think that the nugget that is brilliant about the game is looking at a frozen scene and exploring it and beginning to understand connections, and then that understanding somehow unlocking content. Like, I can imagine like there being a 3-part crime scene, and you go through that, And if you get enough clues, then all of a sudden you get an address and you get to go to a new place where there is maybe, instead of bodies that you're finding, there's 2 objects that have memories associated with them. You hop into those memories. And again, it's just this idea of like looking at snapshots and then trying to gather information from those snapshots to unlock more places to go to. I mean, I feel like there's just so much flexibility there.
That's so cool. I would want that to be like a film noir detective game.
God, like, can you imagine if Martian Memorandum was redone like that and didn't have like the gross faces in that?
I don't know what that is. What is that?
What is Martian Memorandum?
You don't remember Martian Memorandum where you're Tex Murphy? I almost said Tex Avery. That's the wrong person. Where you're Tex Murphy, and there's...
I've heard... I mean, I know the name.
Yes.
I'm gonna do a Google.
Yes.
Yeah, and remember the guy whose brain was hanging out? We had to like solve a murder. We had to like go on a date. Remember that one?
Oh my god.
We played this game.
And like we had a gun and we like could not figure out how to like load the gun or load the photograph or take the photograph. We like couldn't figure it out.
Oh no, this is the game with Jacques, the guy in the French beret wearing guy in the
Oh yes, that is right, the film person.
Jesus.
I totally forgot about this.
You guys blocked it out, man. I that's forever seared into my wizard's sight.
That's incredible.
Whoa.
I'm literally just Googling photos of like this game we played, and I'm like, how shocking.
And you're like seeing yourself in the photo. You're like watching the video like, I don't remember this. I don't remember this at all. I don't remember this. Get back into the box.
That's incredible. Are there any other games... Here's a question of the night. Are there any other games that we all forgot that we played? What do we know?
Oh, yeah. No, there's a couple of those games. Like, remember... I don't remember what it was, but it was like a sci-fi game where there were a lot of periods in the name. It was like something period, something period, something period, something period.
Oh, yes! Oh,
yeah. Hey.
Oh, God. I can picture, like, the spaceship...
Julia Among the Stars.
Among the Stars.
Julia Among the Stars.
All I remembered is that it had so many periods, man.
Wait a minute. Are you sure you're not talking about Catherine?
Yes.
Oh, Catherine.
Yeah. Catherine. Catherine was a long time ago.
Metadating.
Catherine.
Oh, so good.
They're doing like a remaster of Catherine, so they had it at E3, and it was right next to the Indiecade booth.
Yeah.
And so I just kept walking by there, thinking about Catherine.
Do you remember when Julia had the character named Necrosis Thanatos?
Yeah. No, that was.
Yeah.
That wasn't that a that was a Kickstarter backer, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it had a character named in Julia as that. It's like,
did we finish that game? Are there characters in it? No, we didn't.
No, and that was another one of those games that it was solid.
Yeah.
It was solid. I don't really have anything bad to say about it, but it didn't leave the sort of impression that Oberdin does.
I feel like back in the day we used to play games on hard mode where it was, or we used to play on like ultimate mode where it was like we would just finish it no matter what.
I think we go through moods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something that feels really good about being in that weird world with surreal ideas. Like all the Roberta Williams games just have such weird ass elements going on in them that it's kind of a treat when you actually overcome that hurdle. But like Willie Beamish with just everything we did, it's just like, oh, congratulations, you unlocked going to school again. And I'm like, oh fuck, this is so unsatisfying. Uh-oh, your dad has to watch a commercial. Better pay attention, because then you got to go to the store and buy some toothpaste. And I'm like, all right.
Toothpaste.
The one with tartar control.
I know. The way you said that was right out of that meme. You were just like, and then you got to go to the store and get some toothpaste.
And it made me feel. Oh, fuck, that's so funny. If anyone doesn't know what we're talking about, just look up toothpaste with tartar control.
Yep. That'll get you where you need to go.
All right.
It'll tickle you. Oh my god, Loom. Loom was...
I remember Loom.
Loom, where we had to just...
part of the Loom.
We had to remember to play notes. Boom, 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 boom. Oh my god.
Like
but
turn green.
I expected more of the game to be playing notes. Like it ended up being sort of like a minor mechanic. in a point and click adventure game. Like
Yeah.
I kept expecting it to be like a bigger thing.
I thought everything you do is playing notes. Do you have an inventory in that game?
I remember there were like 8 songs, but I like don't remember.
Yeah, I don't think you have.
But there
an
was
inventory.
so much more content.
Yeah,
there was
okay.
tons
so
of
maybe
shit we had to
maybe I
do.
don't remember.
No, I think
I don't
you
think
do
I
have an
saw the whole
inventory.
thing.
No, chat. Do we have an inventory? Let me just look up Loom. Loom LucasArts images. Yeah, I think no, we did have an inventory. Yeah, because there was like some straw and a potion. We had to use objects with each other. I think so. Everyone says no, just a stick.
I was gonna say people
know.
in chat seem to think it's only a stick, but then I realized it's all the same person in chat.
Oh, yeah, Melterfoss.
Yeah. That's cool though. I like that. Somebody said the word minor, and I was thinking there's something that happened in someone's actual life, but it played out like a joke. So here it goes. I'll just tell you this joke really fast. A bank called their... This is when they were like still living at home as a kid. And a bank called their family's house, and their mom picked up, and the person was like, "Oh, can I talk to Joe so and so?" Like that was her son, and she was like, "Yeah, but I have to tell you, he's a minor." And then the guy says, "Ma'am, that's a very honorable profession." That happened. That's a thing that happened. Oh God, I gotta plug my computer in real fast.
Right.
Yeah, okay, do that.
Yeah, let's keep Lee. We like having Lee around.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many of these little titles that have sort of snuck in the fringes that we played a wee bit of. Like there was that one game that was like that had the most generic name. Lee, what was it? It was like Dungeon Death or like Death Castle.
Which one?
Oh, yeah.
Castle Shadowgate?
Castle
Shadowgate.
Yeah,
And all we did was find sticks. We just found like a huge collection of stick-shaped objects and shoved the sticks into various differing holes. Like the sword fits perfectly into the hole, and the door opens up, and there's a witch, and she's like, "Ah!" And then we use a different stick on her, and we die. Sometimes she dies.
I was disappointed with how different Shadowgate was from the original Shadowgate.
Yeah.
The original Shadowgate would have gotten canned pretty fast because all you do in that one is die. But there was a lot of similarity, but I don't know. The new one, it felt like a mobile game. It felt like a mobile game that we were playing on a PC, kind of.
Oh yeah,
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah. Remember how they would take the art? They'd have like a single picture of 2D art, and then they would animate it by stretchy.
Yeah. No, the shader game in that was real on point.
More like Castle Shadergate. Just had to
get it, man.
That wasn't even a joke. That was just me, like
that was a word association. It's the new words. It's Lee's new words for the day, man.
I was just buttoning up a loose end.
Yeah, no, that's
Is that a thing that you do to button up a loose end? I guess
you can, man.
Sure.
And then you get new names out of it, like whatever you had, like Bloviate Bewildebeest. Bloviate Lendastrium.
Lendastrium.
Yeah, man. You just put vowels and sounds together.
Penum and glandulus. Baroxus. Braxton.
Stark Garter. That's the
Stark
name of
Garter.
a real tough guy. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember some of the really weird fringe ones. People in chat are mentioning Siberia, which I thought was like both a really cool, interesting game, but a game where it just kept being more and more obtuse.
Nothing
and
ever
empty,
happened.
And nothing happened. And wait, didn't we beat it? Didn't we like get into the train and go off and it was like Siberia 2?
Oh god, did we?
We might have beat it. I mean, we definitely didn't get to Siberia because the game definitely doesn't get to Siberia, but I don't remember how far we went into it.
I think we quit because I looked it up and you don't get to Siberia.
Yeah.
In the game.
Yeah, so it's more like
I think that's what. This rings a bell.
That was sort of the last straw.
So I'm wondering if chat can help us a little bit. I'm talking about some of the more popular games that we've played. What are some of the really weird games that we haven't even brought up? Are there some fringe ones? I know that we have the diehards in chat tonight.
We played. I can't remember if we did more than 905, because 905 was not a full episode.
905 we did do. We did do 905.
But we did that, so we must have we must have done something else to fill out 2 hours.
We did it at the end of one of them.
Did we?
Oh my god, I forgot about Uru.
Uru.
Do you remember Uru? Oh my god, Uru.
Yeah, Uru was so weird, right?
Oh my god, it was like an MMO without any RPG systems or content.
Yeah, you're just bunny hopping around.
Oh my god!
Solving list puzzles that sort of didn't make any sense.
And then you had jumping mechanic. Oh my god! It was both so cool, but it just did not do it.
It was like a massively single player offline adventure.
Yeah. Yeah, Uru, you quit mid-episode and played Rocket League. Yeah, man. Oh my god, I was playing. What is this?
Part I remember.
What is this game? Are you kidding me? Oh my god. Oh my god, the pond.
We played the pond.
We did play the pond. That's hilarious. Oh my god.
Thimbleweed Park we stopped. And do you remember why we stopped Thimbleweed Park?
Oh, Thimbleweed Park was the one with the
2 characters. One of them turns into a ghost.
There was a clown in that one too, right?
There was a clown. The clown haunted all of our dreams, I think.
It was just boop and boop and boop. It's like like
Thimbleweed. Wait, was Thimbleweed Park the one with the clown that swore all the time? Is that
no, that's what I'm talking about. That's why.
That wasn't a different one.
Oh my god, it drove me so. It made me so. It just drove me crazy. It just drove me so crazy. Oh my god, Archamax is the Last Express. Oh my god, the Last Express.
I forgot about that. That was so good. I mean, not good, but that was amazing.
It was so.
Yeah.
There's something really magical about the world's doing stuff, and you can kind of interact with it. Have you guys played The Outer Wilds?
Not yet.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, that's probably one of the greatest games ever made. It's like a complete 10 out of 10 game.
So excited about that.
Because you're in a solar system that's stuck in a time loop. And so, you go to a planet, and the planet has events that are unfolding over the course of the time loop's length. It's really, really cool.
I played the original when Alex Beecham was doing it. I think it was his thesis project. One of my... I'm so curious because you've played it. Sean, one of my favorite features from that was you would play through the whole 15 or 20 minutes or whatever it was at the time, and then it would play back in 30 seconds a reverse.
Yeah.
That was so good.
Oh yeah, it totally does that.
USC thing?
Yeah.
Damn.
Outer Wilds came from USC. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Huh. You ever do that thing where you're like, man, people from our program have really gone on to great things, and then you're just like, I remember when we graduated, it was XBLA. That was where.
Oh yeah,
that was
Xbox
PB
Live.
Winterbottom.
Ouya.
Yeah, fuck.
Ouya.
The Ouya. Did that? I mean, I know it had tons of USC people edit, but that didn't come out of USC, did it?
No. It was just that was a
no.
That was the thing. That was the hot thing in a moment.
Oh yeah.
For a moment.
It was Ouya was remember consoles, and
Xbox Live Arcade was huge. We used the engine Torque 2D. Unity was trying to give out free keys for us to use, and I started using Unity, but I think I was one of the only ones.
I started using it because Dave Turpin started using it when we were at LucasArts.
The Turpinator.
Yeah.
My thesis project was a Flash game for the iPad.
I want to play that game. I want to play that damn game. I keep thinking about
wouldn't it be great? I mean, unfortunately, it was a Flash game for the iPad.
The first iPad.
Oh my god, a Flash game for the iPad. Like, and for any of you who don't know, Steve Jobs killed Flash. He actually just
he totally did.
He like cut Flash into pieces, put it in the trunk of his car, and went by to the Salt Lakes of the South Bay, and they just dumped it right in there, right by where the Facebook headquarters is. And Flash, the body part's still floating there today,
but there were
preserved in the brine.
There were a total of 6 calendar weeks when you could make Flash games for the iPad. And that was when I made my thesis project.
That's awesome. Oh damn! You know what I did recently as part of my like whatever the fuck? I went through and I put my thesis paper. So it turns out, you guys, you can just Google your thesis papers and download them.
Yeah,
don't fucking bring that shit up. Because I was.
You were done. You were checked out.
I reference it every once in a while.
I was 2 minutes away from missing the submission deadline before I realized that I had forgotten a title page. So I wrote a title and submitted it just in time to find out that I'd fucking misspelled my title. Okay? There is a spelling error in the title of my fucking thesis.
That's amazing.
The reason was because I didn't realize there was a page limit. So, like, I literally deleted, like, 80 pages of stuff, because I was, like, way over the limit. I'm like, whose thesis has a fucking page limit? Wow. Let me talk. Let me say the shit I want to say. Ghost Stalker is linking to my thesis. That's my undergraduate thesis. So shame on you.
Oh, that's your undergrad.
Yeah. That's HMC.
Yeah, no, that was an okay thesis. I thought that was okay.
Yeah, I converted my thesis into a Medium article because no one can stop me. So I put it up in Medium, and then I redid it as, so Medium says it's a 45-minute read. So then I changed it. I made a new version in addition to that. That's like a case study. It's like a design case study, and that's 15-minute read. But it's cool because I read through and I was like, holy shit! Like, I was a smart cookie. I was doing some interesting stuff there. And then, of course, I go online where the game is supposed to still work, and it doesn't. It literally starts up, but it's just broken, and it's like, what happened?
The ever-evolving WebGL standard.
Yeah, I kind of think maybe we should make our thesis games work.
Dude, so Lee did something. Okay, mostly walking is about the adventure games, but also it is about us reminiscing about USC times.
True.
And Lee sent me 2 of my projects.
Oh, yeah.
Where did you find those, and why do you have them, and why did you just throw them in my face, man?
Well, let me just show you. I'll just show you. It was on one of these.
The suspense is killing me.
Oh,
of
my
course.
I finally did the merge. I just got a multiple terabyte hard drive and just merged them all.
Purge and merge. Yeah. Okay,
nice.
Pillow Fight was so good, though.
It's still such a great idea for a game.
Good.
I think it's like the only actually fun thing I've ever made.
That might also be the same for me. Like, yeah, fuck, dude. How ambitious of me to just say we should just whip that one back up again.
Literally anything. Yeah.
Jesus, I know exactly how we could do that so straightforwardly now. But Lee, mind if I just share the entire design of Pillow Fight, because it's so good.
Go for it, please. It's
all right,
so good.
so here's the design of Pillow Fight. This is a project that Lee and I worked on our second year in graduate school together. Where the whole so I'm gonna give the meta story before we even get into this, right? Because this is good. So we were in this course that was about trying to think of a larger scale game project that you'd be working on for a full semester, because I feel like with anything that involves creation, the way that they always teach you is you might spend a year or two doing a 1 week project, a 1 week project, a 1 week project, and then a 2 week, and then a 2 week, and then you might finish up the semester with a big all 1 month. This is graduating you to get to something that is like a month-long project or a year-long project, like a thesis project. And so that was the point of this class, was, okay, we're going to start talking about some design principles, sort of collating some of the things we've learned in the previous coursework, and then we're going to have you guys pitch an idea for a game that you're going to do. and it was like work with a buddy. So Lee and I were working together, and the sort of again, I'm not going to talk about the idea itself, but our thought was, what is something simple we can do that if we have more time we can add to, and then if we have more time we can add to, and then if we have more time we can add to. So we sort of had this like onion layer of plants that we were going to be doing, because
classic concentric design.
Is that what that's called?
That's what that's called.
I call it an onion rhizome. I call it sort of a and it's just kind of it's pretty much a full fruit salad design.
Yeah, I call it a distending tree trunk model, right? Because you just get the rings, they just keep bulging out, that's what I call it.
I call it the sweet potato prolapse is what I call that.
I wish that you would stop.
Yeah. So okay. So and I remember there were so many people that pitched things like, because I think cumulatively, a semester is 4 or 5 months, and we would only really truly have like 3 months to work on it because there's some bookending stuff on there. I mean, people were standing up. Do you remember those two guys that like stood up and basically pitched a game that was like civilization level world building, but each city would be simulated like Grand Theft Auto, and you could like wander around in it and shit. And they just kept going, and they just kept going, and they I remember maybe it was actually the Terpinator who was doing that. And I remember the presentation.
Oh, I'm sure it was the Terpinator.
Opened up.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Sorry.
Yeah, like I remember at some point, it may have been the opening, it may have been the closing, but I remember it was a big moment where one of them said, "And when the game begins, the game will ask you, how many people in your kingdom can die before it's not okay? And you have to put in a number. And that will be used in the algorithm that will determine how your colony and civilization behaves." I mean, I'm looking at this thing, and I'm like, literally, if you had the GDP of Spain, you could not afford this game. Like, this is...
Yeah.
It was so huge.
Like, no matter how big and sprawling of a game, there's always, like, that nugget. Like, that's an interesting thing. It's like, okay, let's take that thing of asking you how many people can die and it's still okay, and let's just, like, put that into a... Let's just put that into a Twine game. Or it's like,
right, yeah,
let's make a little HTML kind of,
It's whippy zippy do this one. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, so then Lee and I we did the following game. So the way it works is, you know how in a soccer team,
don't tell anybody, everybody. Keep this a secret.
Yeah,
this
keep
is
this a
between
secret.
all of us, all of you on the YouTube channel. Happy 5 years. Like, don't tell anyone about this. Yeah, so you know how in soccer there's like a lot of you and there's one ball?
Yeah.
What if instead it was just you and your opponent and then a lot of balls? Right?
Yeah.
But instead of being a person on a soccer field trying to knock balls into a goal, you are trying to fly a spaceship that has all sorts of different guns that can shoot out and knock into the objects. It can freeze them. It can detonate and cause them to fly everywhere. They were little pillows that had little smiley faces on them, and you could shoot them, and they'd go hop, 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 and they'd hop. You could magnetize them so they'd get drawn towards the other side, and they just are spawning constantly. So it's just spawning pillows, and you're just like, we had all these like really terrible sound effects.
Oh my god, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really fun. And you sit there with your, you just have your like Xbox controllers or whatever, and you're just flying your little guys around, and the pillows have smiley faces on them, and it was kinetic, frenetic, and enjoyable as hell.
It was so good. Well, because the thing is that because there were the 4 guns. There was the jump gun, which is the pillows would naturally be moving towards one of the goals or the other. It was sort of a platformer style view, and you had a little spaceship flying around. So they would be jumping, and if you shot them with the jump gun, they would take a big jump in the air towards the enemy goal. If you there was the magnet gun that would cause them to flip directions. They were moving. Then there was the freeze gun that if it hit the pillow, it would freeze the pillow.
And the explosion one was super fun too, because if you're a total noob, you could just like, you could even fly like behind the pillows, like you could, because the pillows would stack up into these piles, and then you could like fly within a pile, and you could just blow it up and like.
Oh yeah, it was super fun. Yeah, well, because you could do things where you would like freeze a line of pillows, so the explosion would cause them to like ricochet around. Oh, it was just so fucking tight. Like we should actually just remake that game.
I think it's playable. The thing that I sent you includes an exe. I am wondering. Oh, I mean, like we could remake it as something like presentable. But if you just want to play it,
no, I want to play it. I want to remake it, man. We gotta remake it. We gotta remake it.
Is there a way to pipe? Okay, here's my question: is there a way to pipe input from the internet? Like, could you and I play a couch local multiplayer game by like sending the input from my controller to your computer?
Yeah.
Because we could sometime play Pillow Fight.
Yeah, I mean, it's an absolute pain in the ass, but...
I can only imagine, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, we can totally do that.
Oh, God.
So cool.
I'm running Pillow Fight, and it appears to have destroyed my entire computer.
Yeah, don't run Pillow Fight. Pillow Fight's a virus from 1995. You've been infected with the Pillow Fight virus.
Oh, amazing.
Code rot, man.
So good.
That's why you should always support your local
video game. Okay, well, since we're having some joy talking about old works from the USC days, and also there's so many terrible elements in that game. But I'm curious, what from our mostly walking experience, what are some of the truly most ghastly elements you just can't believe we saw in there? Because I feel like the most general theme over the 5 years is the disaster second half. That has happened in more games.
That's a general. No, totally.
Disaster,
and it's often. I think there are a number of factors because it's often narrative too. Often just narratively, the whole thing falls apart at the end.
It's so weird. It makes you wonder, like what. Like I'm sure that like we could go into it and say. We know a thing or two about adventure games. We could make one, and then like we get to part 2, and we'd be like, "Oh shit! Now I see why it always falls apart."
No one's ever gonna get here.
Yeah, right.
I know, Sean. I think you especially sort of delighted in this, but I am mildly horrified at what was the lady detective pick it up and put in your purse?
Laura Bow 2 and the Dagger of Amun-Ra.
That's right. Laura Bow's mechanic of like everything that you talk about goes into your notebook, and then you can ask every character about everything in the entire world. I like.
That sounds really
wow.
It's fucked up, man, isn't it? Isn't it just like totally twisted?
That is the kind of feature that sounds so good on a PowerPoint presentation.
It really does.
You can ask great on PowerPoint. Any character about anything. Each character can be asked about up to 10,000 unique things, only one of which makes any meaningful progress in the game.
That was God, one of my professors mentioned something about useful freedom. It was like, oh yeah, it's cool to make a game where you can do almost anything, but like it only matters if you can have freedom that actually like is useful in the game. It's like otherwise useful freedom is just like extraneous. I don't know. I feel like gameplay, like players in games are just the like hungriest little like all they want to do is complete the objectives. All they want to do is beat the game. Like they're there for one thing. They're not there to have fun. They're there to play the game. And so it's like it's that kind of thing where it's like, oh, but I put so much time and effort into the level art, and people are just running through it to beat the level.
Right.
I kind of like that. I kind of like that people get into this little like just gotta get to the end of this thing.
Yeah, I feel like the adventure games just keep beating me in the face with the fact that the most important thing in a game is to give extreme clarity of goals.
Yeah.
Or to make the ability to come up with your own goal so easy that you don't even think about what is my goal. you're only thinking about what the obstacles are to achieve it and what your tools are to overcome those obstacles. I feel like the biggest problem we have is we don't really know what our goal is.
Right.
Like, sometimes it's like, okay, we need to get this guy to move away from the door. And sometimes just sitting there thinking and thinking and thinking, we go, you know what if we told him this? Haha, we did it, we got through. But as it turns out, sometimes that guy at the door needed cantaloupe. And so we don't know that that's actually our goal. Our goal is not get the guy to move from the door. It's,
like, you actually needed to do some other thing in some other place, and then the guy would leave.
Oh God!
That we get
that's
that
a whole
sometimes
category.
in
That's a whole
adventure games,
category
too.
of terrible, right?
That's
Which
true.
is the things you have to solve by doing totally unrelated stuff to make time pass.
Okay, let me call out another specific example to get at the question that you were asking, Sean. Do you guys remember? I'm pretty sure this was King's Quest VI. I'm pretty sure this was our first game when we were given the objective to find a skull.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. And we just and the game chewed me out for trying to pick up a skull. It was like, I don't know why we would ever want to pick up that.
We're in an area that just got skulls all over the place.
God. Like, trying to do it, and it's like saying, why would I want to carry around a huge boar skull? I'm like, what? Because you told me. I'm just trying to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think about that every once in a while. I really do.
That's a good one.
Because I feel like the big faux pas that you're making me think of when you talk about the passage of time, Sean Bloom, is I don't need to distinguish between which Sean it is, because I'm one of them. I realize that now.
It's fair.
In the first Nancy Drew game we played, we didn't know that we needed to go to bed. We didn't know.
Right.
And so we were stuck for so long, we couldn't figure out what to do. The answer was just go to bed.
Yeah, sometimes that's what it is. Sometimes you're trying to solve a puzzle in life, and you just gotta sleep on it.
There was also in that game, like, it took us some time to figure out the established pattern of, like, explore the space, look for new shit, solve things, call George and Bess.
Yeah, I was gonna say
explore the space, look for new things, solve shit, call George and Bess.
Go to bed.
Yeah.
I feel like, and it was just that one, wasn't it? Or were we just programmed at that point? We just called George.
I don't know. It might be that, like, by the time we played another one, we knew.
All right, let's call George. Let's call Bess. Let's go to bed. Let's get up. Let's call George. Let's call Bess. Let's get up. Let's go to bed.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
I want to play more Nancy Drew.
Yeah, Nancy Drew games are the best. Aren't they coming out with a new Nancy Drew?
They are. There's a new one coming out in, like, October, November, I think.
Oh, we gotta play it here, man.
Yeah.
There is justice in the universe.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. Curious to see.
Midnight in Salem, it's called. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, new game engine and everything.
Well, that was the whole deal. Was they were taking a hiatus from releasing titles every 6 months in order to move their whole engine over to Unity, and I don't know if they accomplished that, but presumably.
I thought they were focusing on mobile titles for a little bit, but it sounds like they're just.
They did also come out with some mobile titles, yeah.
Remember how they had a totally ghost town, unpopulated version of Tokyo?
That's right. Well, we're the only person on the subways. That's
the empty subway. That's right.
That was strange. I don't understand that choice.
Like,
that's weird, right? I still think about that.
I feel this. It feels like a betrayal to even say this, but we did not get super far into Quest for Glory.
Oh my god!
Because
yeah,
some of the core mechanics of that game were fundamentally incompatible with this group of human beings.
And what were those, Sean? Because we had both Ferlin Tokazir quizzes
I know, and that was such a...
And Mrs. Furtifadern.
That's right, yeah. There's some good name-related moments in that game. It was maybe a little too RPG for our adventure gaming tastes.
That's
I think
right.
we found that we were gonna have to grind.
And there was some grindiness to it that I think in my head, because I played it 100 times, like if you play it optimally, you don't have to grind that much. And the grinding sort of like feels like an achievement. But if you play it like a normal person would play a fucking game, then it just becomes a disaster.
Yeah.
You know, that makes me wonder, what are the big mechanics and elements of these games that we've played that are most incompatible with, like, the core of point-and-click graphic adventure stuff? Because, I mean, like, what you're talking about with grinding, I feel like, is an interesting example, where if there is a person you can't get past, the adventure gamer brain goes, okay, I need to just find an item, I need to say the right thing and talk to the person. Whereas the RPGer is like, okay, I will just fight boars in the forest until I'm ready to take on the mighty dragon.
Right. That is interesting.
I'm trying to think of games that had weird, extraneous mechanics.
Well, I mean, didn't Gemini Rue have, like, gunfighting in it? Where, like, occasionally you'd, like, hide, you'd, like, shoot guns at people?
Yeah, how did that work? What was that about? How did you physically do that? Did you have to...
It was pretty easy.
I think any of those games that had dexterity challenges, like microing, you had to, like, dodge a couple ghosts.
Didn't Thimbleweed Park have, like, some weirdness around when you switched characters, like, it played out the story from another perspective that was not perfectly compatible with the perspective you had previously played.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh my god, yeah, no, the people were talking about things that you'd already done as though you could do them or vice versa.
Right.
You know, now that I think of it, like, I've sort of said that out loud upon thinking about the Quest for Glory, but I really think that almost every single game was pretty devoted to just solving puzzles, advancing things along with the story, and it really just came down to the puzzle design. I think maybe Police Quest had the ridiculous, just like, well, now it's time to just ticket people who are speeding.
Oh, the fucking procedurality in Police Quest.
Are you sure you want to go in there before checking your gun in? And you're like, no, and you just lose points. The only thing we ever crave in the game.
If you walk around the car the wrong way, then you get hit by oncoming traffic. Like,
you immediately die.
I mean, that was just like...
I was not there for Police Quest.
You were not there for...
Oh, you...
Wait,
at least some of that.
There was a second episode, I think, where there was... Or no, I don't think I was there for... I think I watched... I do have memories of, like, hanging out, like, questioning people in a house, but with a weirdly, unnecessarily, like, heavy metal guitar solo.
Yeah, that's right.
That's so right. Loud. It was so loud. It was so much louder than the rest of the game. Dude, I don't know why. I have no idea why, but for God knows what reason, there is no audio balancing in any game released before 2005. No. Like, all of it, just the levels are all over the place, man.
Yeah.
So they call it Sound Blaster.
Yeah, right.
When you least expect it.
Yeah. Surprise! Or in Police Quest, when you're, like, talking to the wife about her husband being found, like, dead in a dumpster, and it's playing that saxophone music. That really sexy. Yeah, it's so good.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
Yes. The city in King's Quest V, where it was that, like, that tinny,
horrible,
extremely loud.
I couldn't hear any of you. Music. You couldn't hear anything that anyone was saying. They're like, oh, it's so funny. And oh my god, Unemployed Shaku brought up punching the reporter. Yeah, where the reporter comes out with just like bam, and it like gives us points.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. So what is the best puzzle? The best moment of solution solving where we were just absolute geniuses? I don't even know if this has happened on the show.
There was one recent.
I mean, this is definitely happened.
There was one last week that I don't think it was like. It was not necessarily like, oh, this is a crowning achievement moment. It was one of those things where it was like, how have we gotten this good at this shit? Was when it was like, oh, we have a broken grabby machine. Okay,
yeah.
So Sean B, you didn't see this episode yet, but we had a broken grabby. What was it supposed to be?
You know those things? It's a golf ball grabber where like it's all scrunched up and you squeeze it and it goes out and the arm goes out.
Totally.
Yeah, it was a broken golf ball grabber, and then we also had a fish with a magnet in it. Like it was a fish. For some reason, it was like a magnet, but it was also like a fish body, basically like a fish with a magnet head.
Yeah.
And then we had a bottle, and so we tried to use those
with
together.
The severed, decaying hand of like
Jesse James.
That's right.
So we tried to use the fish. We were like, well, what if we put a magnet fish on the end of this broken thing? And it said, that looks promising, but I need something to hold it there. And one of us was like, well, we have a hand of Jesse James in a glass bottle. We just took it out.
That's right.
I
was like, well, we can't open it. I tried on Max. Max couldn't open it, and I just clicked on the very first person who was on the screen, and they were like, I can open any jar.
Yeah. So this is even more incredibly than that, though, Sean. Before you did that, you called it. You were like, well, I think we just need to get someone else to open it for us, and then you walked up to a guy. He opens it, and then we just click, and yes, we fixed the golf ball grabber by putting the hand of Jesse James on it to grab the fish magnet. We were like, Jesus Christ, how are we good at this?
It was so weird, and then like you need. Okay, so the thing that's crazy is that you need to find this mole's mood ring, and he said he lost it in the Great Ball of Twine. And for whatever reason, we went, well, I guess we need to stick a magnet in the Great Ball of Twine. And we tried to stick it in the Great Ball of Twine, and it's like, well, it doesn't reach far enough. And then we just opened up the jar, put the hand on the grabber, put the magnet in the hand, and stuck it in there and solved it. It was like 90 seconds of puzzle solving.
It's like we're too good.
That's pretty amazing.
Whoa, you've created a cat.
This is Despy. Despy, come here.
Despy.
Get into the box.
Yeah.
Nope, do not rub against the box. Get into the box. There you go. That's a good cat.
Desperado.
I sing that to the cat all the time.
When will you go in your box?
Desperado. Alright, let's throw this shit away. God, it's so good.
Has there been any other that we just called it? Like, right there?
I gotta say, there's like a few memorize the maze moments where I've just been like, oh, I fucking hate the maze in my mind.
And that is super fucking impressive every time you do it.
Like, and it's one of those moments where I'm like, all right, we're getting demoted in Magic the Gathering. We have middled in Dota for years. I know exactly how to get out of this maze. And it's like, D9 is amazing! And I'm like, yeah!
No, that's true. So have we had a microing moment that actually on the show? I always remember King's Quest 7.
Oh, the save load.
Yeah, the bomb that was the time bomb that was tied to like clock cycles.
Yeah.
Or something.
For you who don't know what Sean Bloom's referencing, we were playing a game where there was a bomb and it was going to go off, but it didn't record it in terms of seconds. It recorded it in terms of the clock speed, and this was made on 4 megahertz computer, and I'm running on like a quad 4 gigahertz processor, And so
no biggie, though.
They literally hand you the bomb and you explode. It's just like pick up, boom. And so like I was trying to move, pause, save, load, move, pause, save, load, move, pause, save. So good.
Is that what you do with Despy? Load, move, pause, save.
Yeah, we just pet her little paws. Goodbye. Our moment's done. God, it was so good.
Oh, don't forget our esports dream.
Oh, don't forget our
esports
dream.
Never did.
Yeah.
But that game's actually
What happened?
awesome.
That was a cool game.
It was just a good game, and we were like, okay, so this is kind of like a visual novel. We just play through it.
Yeah.
And experience it, and we told everyone to go buy it if they wanted to experience it because I'm friends with the developer, and I was trying to shill as hard as I could. And it's still a great game.
Real good. Like, it was worth it.
That's your homework. That's postly walking.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Purified 100 brings up the ridiculous AI in the Seventh Guest. Yeah, there was a puzzle in the Seventh Guest where it was a game where there were little blobs, and you had to move the blobs around to take the territory over of the enemy's blobs. And whoever had more blobs in the grid would win. And the way that they did the algorithm...
Spooktacular.
Yeah. They kind of connected the AI to time. They said they gave it like 1 second of thinking time, and then it would make a move. But on modern computers, it can literally play out all the way to the end. So it only wins. And so there was a hint book in the game, and we just kept going back to the hint book, and then it eventually said, "You did it."
Yeah, that's right.
It just said, "You won." Do you remember this?
That's right. Just skip the puzzle.
Yeah, it's the only time I think we've ever just like skipped the puzzle.
I think I remember
funny. That's
that
funny.
That game is so weird. It's
Yeah.
It's like going to somebody's Halloween party, like board game themed Halloween party. Because it's just like Satan himself is coming to the earth again. Can you solve a checkers puzzle?
Yeah, he wanted to divide cake up equally. And then the protagonist had this like absolutely deep noir, like, I can't divide the cake equally like that. No, that'll never do. Oh my God.
Yeah. It's like, here, some ooky, spooky eyeballs.
Yes. Oh my God. And remember how whenever there was a puzzle, there was the skull with the brain throbbing on the top?
Yeah.
Brain skull.
Yeah.
Didn't it turn out that like you were the seventh guest, or what was the deal there? Who was the seventh guest?
I don't remember it at all. But I do remember there was that puzzle where you had to like switch the positions of the knights, and I just clicked very quickly until the puzzle solved itself.
That's right.
I mean, yeah. Who's your favorite character from all the games we've played? Let's put it this way: non-player character. Who's your favorite NPC? I think I'd have to maybe go with the
NPC and PC. That's going to be great.
NPC and PC?
Yeah, who's your favorite non-player character, and who's the favorite character that you played as?
I think maybe the evil guy from Siberia. Is that right? There's like a guy who like he like ruined the life of like a toy maker at some shit like that. I just
that's right.
I like that concept.
Did we meet him? I just remember like reading diary entries.
Yeah, because I thought that he was like super reclusive and.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe he wasn't like.
Always.
I guess I'm just thinking of that whole thing, that whole situation.
Sure.
Maybe not. Yeah, maybe that doesn't count as my favorite character, but definitely like just a nod to that. Man. Of course, the owl is pretty good.
Cedric,
that's 100% my favorite character. Oh my God, Cedric the owl. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm a little dehydrated. I've had too much espresso. My heart. He's just absolutely. Guys, he was a complete tweaker just the entire time. King Graham. Jesus Christ. I didn't see that. Like, it's freaking out about everything, man. Yeah, Sir Grey Wolf was really good. There were some great characters from there.
Glottis. I did like Glottis from
Glottis is pretty good.
from Grim Fandango.
Oh, God.
The big mechanic bear or whatever.
God. Oh, yeah. Mechanic bear. Just the absolute winningest.
Yeah.
Solaris25 says Christopher Lloyd for best player character.
Yeah, I mean that's just good. I mean that's a little too cool to pass up. Like, how can you not love that? I mean, the thing is that you often really play an everyman, like King Graham and Prince Albrecht, whatever the fuck his name is in King's Quest 6.
Prince it's the one who feels a strange pulling.
Oh my god. Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation. Yeah. Oh my god.
There was
God, yeah, Boston Lowe's, I guess, supposed to be an everyman's character.
What about shipping? I thought I was shipping. Was it Nancy? I don't know that I was shipping. There was some Nancy Drew game in like a Arctic zone of snow and ice.
Yeah, didn't he turn out to be the bad guy? He's just like, they're ruining the research, and I had to destroy them.
Wasn't there like a super cool woman secret agent who like?
Oh yeah, 100%. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
That was a thing, right? That was definitely a thing.
I don't remember the secret agent woman. I remember the doofus who worked in the store, the gift shop.
Yeah, Villain Man.
Villain Man. Yeah.
Oh, was that the Villain Man?
I think he was the villain.
It was VM.
Yeah, but like, I mean, shipping as far as like which characters. I mean, other than the obvious. I mean, there's Indiana Jones, and the leading lady. But like, what are some mostly walking pairings?
There's not a lot of love. I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe the protagonist in Obra Dinn and the Monkey's Hand. That's my favorite couple, man. That's hot.
How about the monkey's hand and the rest of the guy's leg?
Yeah.
Dude, there is romance is just not in the games, like even a little bit.
It's true.
Guybrush and what's her name, Elaine.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was a thing, man. I'm still
trying
to think of...
I mean, I feel like that's a decent romance, honestly. Like I feel like they
romance.
do that.
Isn't that the name of like a Louis Armstrong song?
Yeah, a decent romance.
Go back upstairs. It just always turns into Frank Oz.
Yeah.
It's just like singing songs. I am.
Oh my god.
Forcing my tears.
Speaking of Frank Oz, man, dude. Dark Crystal Age Resistance is coming out on the 30th, man. I'm like vibrating with excitement.
That I looked at that trailer and I was like, whoa. I was like, this is real puppets, right?
Yeah.
It looks like real puppets. And I was like, oh yeah, the Dark Crystal's pretty weird. Like, it's pretty weird. Those puppets are pretty strange.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how this is gonna be.
Like,
yeah.
I have no Dark Crystal nostalgia. Can you guys sell me on Dark Crystal?
So there's a video game.
It's just going to be a series on Netflix. You're going to binge it, and it's better than Adam Sandler movies, and that's all that I got for you, man.
Oh wow, just Adam Sandler's watching right now. Didn't you know that?
Well,
there's a quote from a video game. I don't know which one, but I have a select collection of like really bad translated voiceovers from video games. And there's one where there's a guy who says, for the kind of people who like that kind of thing, that's the kind of thing they like. So that's what I think of the Dark Crystal.
Yeah, no, that's the one. I love that shit, man.
That's the one.
Oh, dude, I will note. You know what was really tight is when Dave Harbour tweeted that he watches mostly walking. I was like, whoa.
I was super into that.
I was like,
I was super into that. I was watching Stranger Things season 3 and I was just like, I guess I watch his show too.
Oh my god. It's just so funny, the idea that, like, anyone that just the idea that anyone watches anything that we do.
Yeah.
Even the fact that there's a live chat right now, that anybody's tuned in right now, is just a fucking miracle. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, there's something about a very particular kind of non-fame or quasi-fame that I personally experienced, where I've been recognized on the street like 3 or 4 times for mostly walking, but it's simultaneously.
That's so sick.
Yeah, and it's also like it's weird shit because in part it's because of USC also, where like if you still for like 10 years running, if you Google, not 10 years, must be like 6 years running, if you Google digital puppet glove, I think I'm still the #1 hit.
Wait,
because I made a puppet glove one time in Harry Hoberman's class.
all right, hold on. Here we go.
So it's like weird. I have a weird kind of algorithmic quasi notoriety. Oh, don't.
You're up there. You're top 3.
I'm top 3. Or have other people?
Wait,
oh man.
No, it's just Amazon has digital puppet gloves now.
Oh no! I got scooped. Wait,
Yeah.
they sell digital puppet gloves?
Well, it might be digital. Like
You're number
puppet gloves
3
for your
for me,
fingers.
man.
Digital puppet glove.
Oh my gosh, it's holy shit! I just saw your face in this video, and like
I know. It's so old timey.
I'm just immediately teleported to Vistangos, and I'm ordering a pesto pasta.
pesto farfalla.
Oh yeah, farfalle pesto.
Oh yeah, remember those tangos? How the like the salt shakers were like sticky.
Everything at that place. You'd sit down and then you'd stand up and it was a good old time.
And we would just go there like every day. And then when we didn't go there, they would just cater the like seminar.
Yeah, that's right.
It was the best. Dude, okay, so since we have a few minutes left, we've done some reminiscing, and I want to just first say, guys, thanks so much for doing this show with me for 5 years. We have officially been doing this show for more than half my entire streaming career.
Wow.
Yeah.
So your career as a you're mostly a walker.
Primarily. I used to be a occasional walker, but now I'm a mostly walker. Which is fucking sick.
That's how it's hard.
Yeah, and on October 22nd, I am going to be celebrating the 10-year anniversary of Day 9 TV.
Damn!
Wow.
That's sick!
That is so cool.
Can't believe I've done this.
How many more Okay. How many more streaming platforms are you hoping to live through?
Well, you know, in fact, I'm fully expecting Twitch to shut down within the week.
Yeah, probably.
Of course, well, you know, it's looking pretty doomed right now. And then after that, who knows? Maybe I'll.
Yeah. Ever since guys, I have to tell you, I've signed an exclusivity agreement with there's a new company. It's called Sheeply, and Sheeply is another streaming service. There's one problem: you have to wear wool hats.
Of course. No, because I understand that their business model is not necessarily to sell advertising revenue. It's to sell precisely wool clothing from their store, and the content is really just marketing in and of itself.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, you know, it's ad revenue's down, sheep revenue's up.
Sheep revenue's up, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to say that there's a whole bunch of new adventure games that are coming down the pipeline that are looking like they're going to be toy.
Yeah, have we exhausted all of GOG yet?
We've done a lot of GOG.
I literally today thought of an adventure game that I don't think we've talked about.
Well, Riven is now on Steam. It's now on Steam. We can actually run it.
We can actually play it.
We can actually do it, and it is considered the high water mark in the Myst series. We also have the next Nancy Drew game that we're going to be doing.
Does this officially count as teasing our next season?
Did we ever try to play Companions of Xanth?
I've never even heard of that. I mean, it sounds
I don't think we've even played Xanth.
I think you're suggesting vitamins to me.
Yeah.
Like, is vitamin B12 a companion of xanth, or is it a companion of magnesium and iron?
Is it on? It's not on GOG. Shoot.
The gum disease.
Maybe it's just not. Maybe it's not accessible.
Fuck. Had a thought. Real-time casting. Thought is gone. Thought's gone. Had a good idea.
Oh well.
It's good.
Done.
Tried or Hordist.
Hers.
Oh yeah. There's
I remember
a
who it was.
sequel to Seventh Guest.
Oh, the 11th Hour.
Yeah. No, the
play
13th Doll
Spaceship-
is coming out this year.
What?
Spaceship Warlock.
Spaceship Warlock.
That's right.
13th Doll? Oh my god, do you guys
13th
remember
Doll?
The Room?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
The Room.
More
was
like
good.
the series of intricacies within a box, and then no story. I kept hoping for story.
This says it's a fan game of the Seventh Guest. Does it mean that they've just recreated it? Oh god. Who knows?
The 14th Puppet Man.
All right. Well. Okay. So what's something you're excited for in the next 5 years, guys? What are you looking for in the next 5 years? I know Sean's going to be continuously reassembling the house.
Yeah.
He's going to be gallivanting in Montreal.
I'm just gonna keep renovating the kitchen over and over again.
I should give you the update on Montreal. Montreal's not on the table anymore, actually. That's a long, complicated story.
Excellent.
No, I've renewed my vows with San Francisco, and my career is a lot more complicated because of it. But
well, then great. We should get together and just talk about pillow fight.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
I love how we see each other like every year at GDC. Like
Yeah. Yeah, leaving my apartment's hard, man.
Yeah, that's a longer. Well, I got maybe there's not much more to that story. It was just a big decision, a long decision.
Right.
Yeah, but like, what are you excited for in the next 5 years, man?
I'm honestly, I just turned 37. I thought I was turning 38. I just turned 37.
Nice.
I'm pretty excited to turn 40. My goal, and I'm giving myself a little leeway on this, is to like really hit my stride when I'm 40. And by that I mean like be working on like I want to start working on my next big important magnum opus project 40.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's exciting because I know a lot of really cool 40 people who are in their 40s, and so I'm just like, oh, I want to be like them. I want to be in my 40s. And then now I'm starting to get to know people, and some people are starting to get up into their 50s who are really cool, and I'm like, oh, 50s.
God, you gotta become 50. Yeah, no, for any of you who are in your 20s, I want to let you know that your 20s are shit. 30s are so much better than the 20s.
20s are rough, man.
Oh, it's just wall-to-wall garbage. It's just, I mean, 20s actually feel a lot like the scene in the original Star Wars where they're standing in wall-to-wall garbage and there's that just weird snake thing that has an eye for a mouth or whatever it is.
Right. Yeah, and then in your 30s you just have less stress, you have less anxiety and more agency.
Yeah.
You know, you just start doing whatever you want.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
What about you,
Sean?
If
you're in your 20s, just remember that if you make any mistakes, you'll ruin your whole life forever.
Yeah, and if you're ever feeling really stressed out, just know that so are all of us.
Yeah, I know, right? I know.
It's a universal. What am I looking forward to in the next 5 years? I don't know, man. Like, there's a lot of real good media out there.
Oh,
I'm excited for I don't know. I'm excited to see all the creative shit that people come up with. I'm excited to upload my consciousness into a digital architecture that will survive the end of the world.
That's
probably gonna be
Why would you want to do that? I want to, when the end of the world comes, I I don't really want to see what is the end of the world. What does it mean to be alive after it? What does that mean? Isn't that still the world? I don't know.
Yeah.
I love that answer. You just want to complete consuming media. You just want to eat the media.
I just want all of it. No, I'm like so I feel like the last 5 years there has been such a tremendous amount of creative storytelling in TV especially, but in movies and games. And I feel like, there's a lot of weird shit that goes on in the background of that, but they're really talented people telling really kick-ass stories.
Yeah.
I love it. I just eat it up, man.
About that, I'm super amped for projects that people are making in their nights and weekends. Like, I want to see your weird nights and weekends creative projects. Like, that's what I'm here for.
It's about cosmonaut. It's about cosmonauts trying to train birds to fly in space.
Yeah. Someone shared like a little posted something on Twitter, and they're like, "Hey, I'm working on this little world thingy. Here's a demo," and it was just a video of like very rudimentary art, but it was just like a nice. It was like someone walking around in a nice place, like just kind of a place with birds and like wind and like grass, and I was like, this is pretty good. Like, this is, I would 100% play this. Like,
just
I'm gonna
walk around and relax. I actually am almost tempted to reinstall No Man's Sky and just wander around planets, jump skipping. I
haven't played that yet.
Maybe in the next 5 years I will manage to make it through Final Fantasy VII.
FF7s. I've never played it.
It's getting re-released soon.
I should play that.
They've been saying that for the last 5 years.
Yeah, dude. In the next 5 years, I want to start and complete. I'm gonna call it a larger project. Like, I don't need anything particularly huge externally, but just one of those things where it's like, I'm gonna work and add to this thing little by little by little, and then complete it. I do a ton of like learning projects, but I want to do a making project,
Oh damn! Maybe y'all should hold me to this. I want to make. Back in the day with HyperCard, I was working on this game for a long time called Uberville, and it was just loosely describable as a game because it was just exploring, looking at stuff. It's just full of stupid jokes. I want to start making one of those again, but the thing is, I just made it. I just worked on it whenever I wanted. And it was never going to end. But I want to make another one of those. But I'm still figuring out what the easiest medium is to just throw stuff together in my spare time. It's like knitting. It's like knitting a video game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to do that.
Well, guys, happy 5 years. I'm out of town next week because I'm going to a TI party to watch the International.
Tight.
Sweet.
Sweet. But I look forward to seeing you guys then for a little bit of Sam Max Hit the Road.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good.
I'm hanging up on you guys.
Okay.
Bye, guys. Bye, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. You guys are great. GG.